We can be unapologetic if we keep telling ourselves that we're not smart enough, or we're not pretty enough, or we're not eloquent enough to be on a podcast, or we're not pretty enough to be on a YouTube video. And to be quite honest with you, nobody actually cares. You're listening to the Unapologetically Unstoppable podcast. It's about going deep into who you were made to be and following that, no matter what. Where your calling is in the front seat and fear, well, it's trying to stop you, but fuck that guy. And getting the tools and tips to become unstoppable. I'm your host, Jeanette Peterson, where not too long ago, I had to find my calling. Here, you'll hear from me and other online experts on how to discover your calling, the steps to make it happen, and how to monetize it. I believe when we're unapologetic about our calling, we become an unstoppable, expansive force. So let's get started. Hey girl, hey. So I was thinking about those things we tell ourselves that we're not good enough, we aren't, whatever. I don't even want to say them out loud because I'm working on it, right? And I need you to work on it too, because those things that we tell ourselves are deeply rooted in either pain or a traumatic situation or something like that. And we got to get over those things. I mean, like, we actually have to get over those things. We can't just keep saying those same things about ourselves. And when somebody tells us something, why don't we believe it? There was a big period of time when my husband used to tell me that I was beautiful, and I refused to believe him. So then I taught him how to stop telling me that I was beautiful, and I wanted him to tell me that I was beautiful just so I could tell him to stop telling me that I was beautiful. Is that crazy? That is crazy. But do we all do that? Yes, we do. We do. Why do we do that? I think it's time for us to have some positive affirmations about ourselves, especially the things that we don't like about ourselves. I was trying to explain to my husband last night what it was like I'm going through this PTSD, trauma, therapy, whatever we're going through. And so I was explaining to him what it was like, and it's basically like, think of the thing that's scary to you. Like, if you're afraid of heights, it's like standing on the roof and like without a net or a harness or anything and looking over the edge and then telling yourself that you're safe and then letting go and telling yourself that you're safe and that you're okay and that everything's going to be fine and that it's safe and you're fine, you're safe and you're fine. And you have to like continue to tell yourself this to rewire your brain that these things are true, et cetera, right? And then like almost being on the verge of a panic attack. Like it's not fun or easy. It's hard and it sucks. And then being like, no, wait a second. I am safe. I am loved. I am safe. I am loved. And then actually starting to believe it. So what is one thing that you tell yourself about yourself? Is it that you're not smart enough? Is it that you're not good enough? Is it that you're not old enough or wise enough or have enough information? All of those things that we tell ourselves is just BS. It's a way to keep us from living our full potential. We can't be unapologetic if we keep telling ourselves that we're not good enough. We can be unapologetic if we keep telling ourselves that we're not smart enough, or we're not pretty enough, or we're not eloquent enough to be on a podcast, or we're not pretty enough to be on a YouTube video. And to be quite honest with you, Nobody actually cares. Nobody cares if you're pretty enough or you have the straightest teeth or you can speak the clearest. 99% of the people don't actually care about those things. They actually care about what you have to say, the content of your character and the content of what you're delivering over these nuances that we tell ourselves that I have to have X, Y, and Z like this and it has to be perfect. Otherwise, they're going to think I'm not a professional and then they're not going to like me and then nobody's going to buy anything from me. False. Stop telling yourself that. Why? Why do you care about that? I can tell you, I don't care about that. I've bought $27 products and I've bought $2,700 a month products. Some of them were packaged really nicely. Some of them weren't packaged at all. Some of them, the person had no makeup on and a really bad camera, but she was a genius, so I listened to her. Some of them were overfluffed. Like, I don't need all this extra stuff. Just give me the meat, okay? I just need to know exactly what you're saying to me so I can learn and move on with my life instead of you doing all this extra stuff that's not important. That's just a me thing. I'm like, let me just get down to the brass tacks. Function over fashion, let's go. But if your niche is graphic design, it's got to look good. I mean, like, that got to look good. But I don't do graphic design. That is not my strong point. That is not my suit. I wore a uniform for 11 years. And then after that, I had my sister dress me. And then after that, I had Stitch Fix. I'm not fashion and colors and things like that. It's just not my zone. That's not my zone of genius. And why do we think we have to be good at everything? I got out of the military and I was like, I have to know how to dress. I have to know this. I have to know that. I don't, actually. What happened to this jack of all trades, master of none thing? Why do we have to do that? No, just master one. Be the master of your domain. And hire out for the rest of it. I am not good at cooking. I take that back. I'm actually pretty good at cooking. I can't stand cooking. I don't like to do it. It is not a thing for me. The only time that I will actually get in the kitchen and cook is if I have a wild hair at my butt, excuse my southern euphemisms, or it's the holidays. I will cook on the holidays. I enjoy cooking on the holidays because I feel like, I don't know, it's just fun. Everybody's getting together and sharing and fellowshipping, and I like that. Every day, just cooking a meal, I'm not down. Please don't make me do that. No, thank you. But I had been telling myself I was in a bout of depression. I also suffer from depression. So I was like going through this really bad era of depression. And I'm really good at cooking dessert, specifically. Desserts, pies, crock pots, anything you do it, you set it and leave it in the oven, and then you come back to it. I'm good at those things. You got to make a dish up on the fly, not good at that. It's very specific instructions that you do and you put it in the oven and you're good at it, or you just dump a whole bunch of stuff in a crock pot. I'm good with those things. Very good at that. And normally always comes out tasting just great, actually. One year I burnt the pie. And I'm like a pie from scratch kind of girl. Like, cut the apples, make the dough, the whole 9 yards. And I burnt it bad. And I had a panic attack. And then I made another pie. And I messed that one up too. And it was because I had been telling myself for so long that I can't trust myself, that the things that I'm doing aren't right. And so, of course, they were manifesting in my life that way. Of course they were. So the more you continue to tell yourself you're not good at something, or you suck at this, or it's okay, I just suck at this. Stop telling yourself that. You can say, you know what? This is hard for me. that can be true for a small period of time. You know what? I don't like doing this because this is hard for me. Cool. Let's work on hard things. We can do hard things. Hard things are achievable. They are still a thing we can do. They're not impossibilities. They are hard things. But we are humans. And you know what is hard? Becoming a human is hard. Okay? First of all, becoming a human is hard. You being that little sperm into the egg, I'm going to get graphic here. Sorry if your kids are listening. That is hard. So the fact that you're listening to my podcast means you have done a lot of hard things in your life to get to the point that you're at now. So if you can do that many hard things, and you know you can do something else that's hard. And or if you know in your heart of hearts that is not your jam, trade services with somebody. Find somebody who's really good at that and say, look, I'm really good at X. Can you come do Z for me? We gonna trade. And or just pay somebody. That's also an option. It depends on what your cash flow looking like. That's not my business. I'm just saying these are options. These are options. So you wanna know who cooks for me? My husband. You know what I give him? Hugs. I pay him in hugs, in compliments. I tell him every day how good his food is because it is good. And I tell him how much I love him because I do. And I give him lots of hugs. And then I cook on holidays. That's like my contribution. And he's okay with that. We are now of like a symbiotic relationship where he does the cooking, I do the kidding, which is fine. I rear the kids, I make sure they're good to go, bathe them, clothe them, yada, yada, yada. He does the cooking. And I enjoy that. And he enjoys it. He actually likes cooking. So stop telling yourself that you're not good at something. Okay, I need you to listen to this real quick. These are the things I need you to do. I need you to journal this. What have I been telling myself I'm not good at? How can I reframe it into a true statement? So like mine was, I was telling myself I'm not good at cooking. Not actually good. I'm actually good at cooking. I'm decent. I can make meals. But I don't like to cook. So my reframe is, and this is going to be positive reframe. I love cooking for the holidays. I am good at cooking for the holidays. I am really good at cooking desserts. I am really good at cooking in the crock pot. So I don't have to say I'm a bad cook because that's not all the way true. Let's say it was, I'm not good at tech. This is another one that's this is all me. I'm just talking about me. My thing is, it's not that I'm not good at tech. There are things in my life preventing me from doing tech, but I'm really, really good at being unapologetically unstoppable. I can figure it out. It might take me a little bit longer, but that's okay. I also know a lot of tech people. I also know people that are really good and enjoy tech. So I like to trade services with those folks and or have them come in and pay them. They're worth. They're expensive. Tech people are expensive, by the way. So what are you telling yourself you're not good at? And let's reframe that. Because we can't be unapologetic if we're telling ourselves that we suck at things. We got to work through that, girl. Let's work through that. Oh my goodness. Now, I know you're ready to take this to the next level. So what you need to do is go to Facebook, join a community of badass, unapologetically unstoppable women at the Unapologetically Unstoppable Community. And you can find me on the grams at Jeanette.Peterson or at Peterson and Bell. This podcast was created by me, Jeanette Peterson, and Allison Hartman. Our producer is the Amy Williams. Talk soon.